What's going on, everyone? Pat Infante back again with another video. And if you noticed, I've been gone for a couple of weeks here without producing any content. And the reason being is I was traveling around the country. I spent a couple days in Clearwater, Florida, spent about 5 days in Scottsdale, Arizona, which is absolutely gorgeous. Probably the greatest city I've ever been to be honest with you. And then spent some time in San Antonio, Texas. All in all, I was gone just shy of 2 weeks. And during that time, I did not train at all. And I had some concerns. And over the course of those 2 weeks, I learned some stuff about fitness lifestyle, balancing that and social life, and just life in general. So this video is going to be a little different. I wanted to share some things I learned. Maybe there's something you can take away from it. And if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get into it. Okay, so like I said, I was gone for a total of just shy of 2 weeks. It was 12 days in whole. And there was a lot I learned about fitness and somewhat being over obsessed with fitness to where, I was concerned that, taking these 2 weeks off was going to have negative impacts so much on my training. But at the same time, I wanted to see what would happen. And at the same time, I knew it wouldn't really bother me much because I was having a good time and traveling and enjoying life so much. And, this trip, taught me a lot, not about just fitness, but also about life and joining the two together. And I thought it would be good to share it with you guys because maybe there's some people that are in kind of the same boat as me. And, maybe you'll take something away from this. So first thing, obviously my biggest concern was, am I going to lose muscle if I take 2 weeks off from the gym? I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, you will not lose muscle taking 2 weeks off from the gym. If anything, I just went back to the gym for my first time before recording this video since I got back yesterday. And I definitely did not lose any muscle. If anything, that first pump I got, because my body was ready to accept it, was as big as of a pump as I've gotten in quite some time I can remember. So without any doubt, I could tell you taking 2 weeks off is not going to cause you to lose muscle. Now, I will say the 2 weeks leading up to my trip, I did almost purposely overtrain myself. I was running my weekly working sets up to about close to 150 weekly working sets for the 2 weeks leading into this so that my body can kind of overcompensate for it while I was taking the time off, kind of trying to purposely overreach a little bit. But that was the first thing I had learned. Secondly, I also learned that you can keep your calories in check while traveling if you're smart about it. I noticed that I was eating less frequently. And I also noticed that because I was eating out most of the time, actually all of the time, the portions were controlled. I couldn't keep going back for more and I wasn't making it myself. If you look below the picture I have here on the screen, that was a meal I ate one night, which I categorized at about 1,200 calories. I still logged everything in my Fitbit app as I was traveling, and I have very good eyes where I've been logging for so long, I could kind of eye things up and I know how to log it. I can tell you that meal in its totality there is about 1,200 calories. That was a chicken parm sub that wasn't huge. It was about 4 ounces of French fries, and that was a vodka and club soda up in the corner there. All in all, that's about a 1,200 calorie meal. I ate that for dinner one night. No big deal. You don't have to necessarily eat like a slob just because you're on vacation. You need to throw that mentality out. You can eat highly palatable foods when the portion is controlled. Granted, I don't keep super highly palatable foods in the house because I am not good enough to control my own portions. And if I get a taste, I'll keep going back for more. But when it's a forced portion control, meaning you're ordering somewhere, they'll only give you so much, you can do that. I also learned, you can drink alcohol in moderation without weight gain with smart choices. For me, that was, pretty much vodka and club soda. And, there was multiple nights that I would drink. And granted, I was by myself. I wasn't with friends and having these late night parties or anything like that. But, I was able to have 3 to 6 drinks a night if I wanted. And really, if you're sticking to like vodka and club soda, the calories aren't going to be awful. I mean, you're not talking about sugary margaritas and pina coladas and things like that. And to be honest with you, even some beers like Michelob Ultra, Coors Light, Miller Lite, Bud Light, they're really not that bad for you in moderation. Now, if you go out and have, 12 to 15 drinks in a night, not only are you going to be completely drunk, you're running up the calories too, and it's going to ruin your next day on vacation because you're going to be, even if you're not hungover, you're just going to be run down and tired. So probably not the wisest thing to do, but in moderation, you could certainly consume alcohol without a negative impact on your body composition and overall feeling. Another thing I learned is that the American diet lacks enough protein for gym goers. As I was logging, a lot of the meals I was eating and stuff, one thing that was a common theme is these meals are very high in carbohydrates and very low in protein. Even when I was ordering like sandwiches that had grilled fish on it or fish tacos, the portions of the protein that you're getting really is not a lot. I did pack a couple boxes of Quest bars with me, don't get me wrong. But I just noticed that if I was only to rely on the food that I was eating out in order to get, a gram of protein per pound of body weight, I would have had to have a lot more calories because that's coming with a lot more carbohydrates. The average American diet, like I said, there's just not enough protein in it for the average gym goer. Sure, for general population, I guess it's just fine. But if you're in the fitness world, there's just not enough protein. And, I'm glad I did manage to bring a couple of boxes of Quest bars with me along for this journey. Now, another thing is I didn't use any treadmill, any cardio equipment naturally. You could walk and sightsee to offset some of the non-ideal diets. I average about 25,000 steps a day, with a peak day of almost 38,000 steps, while enjoying my time. Like I said, not spending 1 minute on a treadmill. When I was in Clearwater, Florida, I'm from the Northeast, I'm from New Jersey, just walking along the beach, seeing palm trees, feeling some nice warm weather. It was enough. When I was in Arizona, I was hiking. If you're ever in the Scottsdale, Phoenix area, Echo Canyon, a very difficult trail. I probably burned a gazillion calories on that one. I almost at times was wondering if I bit off more than I can chew, but it's extremely challenging. It is a double black diamond for a reason, but once you get up there, the views are incredible. And there was kids doing it and stuff too. So it's just, it's difficult, but it's manageable. I was also at spring training and walking around stadiums. So it was a lot of walking that we done, a lot of sightseeing. And then when I was in San Antonio, anyone that's ever been to San Antonio, they have what's called the River Walk, which is, I think the whole thing is like 25 miles, but it's basically just a pathway along a river where there's shops and restaurants and, everyone's trying to sell you a margarita and bars and everything else. And then there's just open spaces, but it's a very nice walk right along the river. And pretty much that's what you do in San Antonio. You kind of walk along the river, see things. Again, when you're from the Northeast, just being outside is a blessing this time of year. I returned yesterday into Newark Airport and stepped outside and it was about 30 degrees. And that was just awful as a whole. Some other things I just learned in general about myself on this is that I boredom eat because it's very easy and available. I think that my appetite sometimes is signaled by boredom. I routinely eat 5 to 6 meals a day. When I was traveling, I was probably eating about 3 meals a day and then maybe like a yogurt before bed or a protein bar, something like that. I also found that, just being stuck in this cold climate and being stuck inside all the time, it's just going to lead to increased calories. Again, kind of relating it to just boredom, but just being around the food, not much else to do. You're not out and about exploring and things like that. And again, this is going to lead to higher caloric intakes. I also learned that it could be quite therapeutic, to just be by yourself for extended periods of time. Even taking walks, your mind is just at ease. You're not bogged down with, what do I got to do? This person needs me to do this for them, or I got to do this for that person, or I have this chore. It's just really nice to be by yourself. And I'm not saying everyone go out there and divorce their wives. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying at times, you got to take some time for yourself. And I think it'll make the time that you are with loved ones even better. One thing I also learned is, and I kind of knew this as it is, but I had an extreme circumstance where I can figure out anything and solve any issue on my own. And in the end, I truly don't need anybody. I'll be okay. I had an instance out in Scottsdale the day before I was supposed to leave. I was eating lunch, and one of my caps in my front teeth fell off, and I don't know where it went. Probably swallowed it. Now I had one front tooth. And sure enough, long story short, within 3 hours, I was leaving the Arizona Cardinals team dentist office with a brand new tooth. They essentially 3D printed me and mounted in there permanently. It actually, I couldn't have solved that any more efficiently than that, and probably even more efficiently than I thought I would have. So that was an interesting little twist, but in the end, it was crisis mode for a couple minutes, but I figured it out. And sure enough, 3 hours later, like I said, I was leaving the Arizona Cardinals team dentist with a brand new permanent cap in my mouth. So that was one little thing that happened on vacation there. What I also learned is in general, people are generally friendly when you get out of the Northeast. You know, a lot of things, if you're not from the Northeast, you probably hear a lot of bad stuff about people from New Jersey, New York, and just the Northeast in general, and how they're angry and grouchy. And to tell you the truth, there's some truth in all rumors. You know, if you're always in the Northeast, maybe you don't realize it, but you start to realize when you travel everywhere, and everywhere you travel, you're always like, wow, the people there are so nice. The people there are so nice. But then you realize, no, just the people kind of where you live are very angry and miserable. And I think a lot of that has to do with the cold climate, the high taxes, the traffic, the hustle bustle, the fact that there's like no time for yourself. It's all laid back. You're never laid back. You're always trying to get somewhere. You're always stuck in traffic. And, you know, Northeast is probably not a great place. And actually, if you're in the Northeast and you think you can be happier other places, I'm going to tell you right now, you're probably right. You know, going places by yourself, it's kind of fun. You know, it forces you to talk to people from different walks of life and gives you different perspectives on life in general. And I really appreciate just my time just talking to random strangers at bars that from different walks of life and hearing what they had to say about certain things and whatnot, listening to their stories. And, you know, it kind of, like I said, it kind of humbles you a little bit. You know, as far as like training benefits, I can tell you that when I returned, I had complete and total mental preparation to attack the next training period with relentless determination. I was so excited to go to the gym today. You know, and on top of that, you know, you resensitize the volume. I'm going to drop my weekly working sets and slowly ramp them back up. It gives you more room to ramp up and keep progressing forward. Because once you already work your working sets high, you work the weight high, well, where do you go from there? Well, once you resensitize yourself a little bit, you lost no muscle. You can still get a workout from lower weight, lower total volume, and then slowly work that up from there. You're going to be able to build more muscle than you were at the higher weights and the higher volume where you left off, because your body's going to signal, oh, I need to get stronger and keep, you know, building muscle from there. You know, like I said, the body's like a dry sponge at that point. It's ready to soak up clean calories and to pair with training hypertrophy stimulus. And it's just prepped and primed and ready to make progress, ready to accept progress at that point. You know, I noticed small nagging fatigue type, probably repetitive use type injuries have subsided and healed. And, you know, I had a cranky left shoulder for a while. It really hurt, especially like benching for a while. I was concerned that I injured a rotator cuff, but I can tell you, I took the time off. I came back today. I bench press, no pain. So that was good. So that's pretty much it for the whole video. I wanted to come on and just give you those little things. Maybe you could take a little something out of it, you know, but the big takeaway here is it's not a bad idea to take some time off once in a while and to get your mind off a strict gym and diet routine. And there are benefits to it, even from a therapeutic, like I said, there are therapeutic benefits, but there's also training benefits, and you will reap the rewards from that. So I wanted to come on, let you know I'm back. I will be producing more content. I would appreciate it if you like the video. Please subscribe. Visit me on my Instagram. Visit me on my website, www.eatforabs.com. Pat Infante, and I am out.